Our next speaker is Teresa Favuzzi. And did I do that all right? Teresa is here from, she's the Executive Director from California Foundations for Independent Learning Centers. And she's here to talk to us today about assistive technology reuse. Please welcome Teresa.
Well, let me orient myself to this little device. Right on. So, what is assistive technology? We run as the statewide hub for assistive technology in California. It's called Ability Tools. We work with 28 independent living centers across California to connect folks to assistive technologies that help people live more independently. Our whole focus is, with independent living centers, is to make sure that people have the resources they need to live independently. We're not a place where people go to live. Just want to clarify that. So, does anyone know what AT is, assistive technology? No. No? All right. Well then, I'm glad I'm here. AT is really any sort of device that can help somebody with a disability live, work, play more independently. So it can be something really high-tech like screen reader software or a high-tech power wheelchair, or it can be something as simple as a well-used and thought about piece of Velcro, depending on how you utilize it. So low-tech, high-tech. Mostly what I'm going to talk about today is devices that people use to live in their own homes, and mostly wheelchairs, walkers, all those shower chairs and devices that people are purchasing as they age and try and stay living in their own homes. So we have a statewide assistive technology reuse initiative. Essentially, we're promoting reuse of assistive technology so that people with disabilities can live, can get affordable devices they need in order to live, learn, work, play, and vote. So we have a number of reuse centers, and up here are some pictures of a hub scrub, which is really kind of a big washing machine that terminally cleans devices that have been donated so that they can be put back out into the community. Our reuse centers are really focused on helping people get the devices they need, not making folks pay for those devices. So we will take donations in, clean them up, and get them out to folks who actually need them. At the lower, the bottom photo is actually a reuse center that focuses on refurbishing power wheelchairs and getting those power wheelchairs out to people who need them. And the upper photo is a center in Los Angeles that's focused on collecting all sorts of walkers and bathroom modifications for folks and getting them out to them. So Ability Tools, we also have device lending libraries where you can go in and try before you buy, or meet a temporary need. So if you had grandma visiting and you had some stairs and you were trying to figure out how you're going to get her in the house, you could go to our AT Exchange, which is online, and say, hey, I want to borrow a ramp for the next 30 days. So that, we're not having folks trying to figure, so we can make sure that grandma actually comes for a visit. Let's be real. But we also have things like iPads and those sorts of things. But we also provide training and technical assistance for folks. So if you want to learn about assistive technology, we have webinars that happen every month on all sorts of topics. We also are part of a national effort with the Pass It On Center that's focused on teaching states how to do reuse on a more systems level. And we have a California Assistive Technology Reuse Coalition where reuse centers actually share best practices on how to actually do this work and get devices out to the community. And we also are focused on helping people understand how to get gently used equipment and focusing on trying to advocate for assistive technology reuse efforts. So the need. AT really, there are gaps for Californians who are unable to get assistive devices. There are, gosh, I can't even see my own PowerPoint. That's okay. 18% of people, sorry. 18% of people are without health insurance. Even without, even with health reform, we have a lot of folks who don't have insurance. We also have folks who don't have the right insurance. So if you think this is an issue for just poor people, you're wrong, okay? Because if you're working and you have a health plan and you need a power wheelchair, that could cost anywhere between $5,000 and $20,000, depending on what your needs are. And your health plan is not going to pay all that. Sorry to tell you. So it strands a lot of folks. It also means that there are folks who are on Medi-Cal who are really only eligible to get a wheelchair every 5 years, but disability and life changes over 5 years, and so does how people use their wheelchairs. So it's really important for us to try and create new options for people. And one of those ways is to take in devices, refurbish them, and get them out to folks. So this saves money for the AT user. It increases options for AT users. It saves on healthcare costs by preventing secondary health conditions. It diverts usable equipment from landfill, and it also uses equipment to its fullest potential. So we're really interested at Ability Tools and CFLC in looking at what happens with the Medi-Cal system for AT. Essentially, if you look at what Kansas is doing, they have a really interesting process. The state has decided to invest in a system where if somebody is actually provided a wheelchair through Medi-Cal, that they can recapture that device when it's no longer needed. They work with vendors to refurbish those devices, and they provide somebody who needs a wheelchair the option of getting a used wheelchair every 2 to 3 years versus waiting for a new wheelchair every 5 years. So we're really interested in looking at piloting something like that here in California to give people more options. The important thing is to provide people as many options as they have, but also maintaining choice so that people really aren't forced to get a used device when they could actually get a new one. So we would love for you to connect with us. I'm here today trying to learn from all of you about how the recycling, reuse systems work in other industries, because we have a lot to learn and we're just kind of entering the space and are very interested in what all of you are doing and how we can learn from all of you. Questions? Well, sadly it was CIL Berkeley, but they just closed down their shop because they're going through a reorganization. We hope that they'll reopen it very soon. Yes?
I'm from Urban Ore. We salvage at the City of Berkeley transfer station. We get so many crutches and so many walkers.
Yep.
And, we sell some in our reuse facility, but some of them we just ship off to Latin America to to people who need them there. And what we hear from people in California is they cannot buy a used device. They can't get reimbursed for it because it doesn't qualify.
Correct, it doesn't. So you can see how we really want to change that, and we also, you know, would be happy to talk with you about helping you keep some of those devices in California.
Okay? We'd love to do that.
All right. Oh, that was my 10 minutes, man.
We got some more time if there's any other questions. We're running a little ahead of schedule over here and then over here. If someone was interested in getting something from you guys, how do they know what's available? Do you have a list on your website?
Yeah, if you go to abilitytools.org, we actually have an assistive technology exchange, and you can look at what you can borrow and what you can actually get for free and what you can actually purchase, because there are devices all across the state that are available.
Would you have a tool workshop on how to repair or anything like that? Repair tools?
Actually, we don't have a webinar on repair at this time, but it's a good idea, so thank you. Yes.
Do you do outreach to other language speakers besides English?
Yes. Absolutely. Is there a question back there?
Have you made any efforts to try to incorporate your program with actual health providers so that rather than giving everybody a new set of crutches, perhaps they can give them used ones?
Yeah, we have had discussions with Molina Healthcare and HealthNet, just the very beginning discussions. Nothing has popped out yet. Oh.
One more.
You mentioned Kansas as a program. On your website, do you have resources of similar programs in other states?
I think there's only one other program in another state, and I can't remember which state it is, but if you want, I can send you information. All right, thank you very much.